There are laws enacted to protect Nigerian children from various forms of abuse, yet many underage home helps still find themselves dehumanized. Now, underage home help is a child, male or female, who works in employees' household, performing duties such as cleaning, cooking, babysitting, and other chores. Ironically, many of them can be easily spotted due to either their poor state of clothing, nutrition, and sometimes the presence of injuries on their bodies. A lot of them suffer from some form of physical and psychological and sometimes even sexual abuse by employees or other members of the family. In most cases, child abuse goes unreported, and the few that are reported usually did not receive the needed investigation and prosecution of culprits. Now, according to the International Labour Organization, 15 million Nigerian children under the age of 12 are engaged in domestic child labor. But the question is, why such maltreatment? And how can these very vulnerable Nigerian children be better protected? Well, look at this sad but yet flourishing illegal labor force is what this edition of The Big Story is all about. Still on our Friday edition that deals with social issues, we'll be talking about the abuse of domestic workers in Nigeria, tales of exploitation and maltreatment. That's what we're having as a major one today on the show. We're talking about abuse of domestic workers in Nigeria, tales of exploitation and maltreatment. Well, anyway, to help us talk about this, I'm still waiting for one of our guests, but also he's here with us to put insight into it. And I'm talking of our very own Comrade FM&TV, as we await also our other guests that will be joining us to really talk about this. Comrade FM&TV, welcome back to it. And, well, it's quite timely. We'll be talking about this, knowing that it seems to be also a major problem that is facing facing Nigerians in the country as it stands. Now, according to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons Act 2015, employing, recruiting, or even harboring a child under the age of 12 as a domestic worker is a criminal offense.
Definitely, even before God.
Punishable by imprisonment. But in your own opinion, why do you feel this still continues? And why are many parents willing to give out their children?
Mike, it is not that they are willing to give out their children, actually. But
knowing the dangers and knowing that it's against the law.
Yes, you know, they want to wriggle themselves out of abject poverty. The economy is not smiling at all. To more than 90% of the population, the economy is not smiling. Nobody actually wants his own child to suffer this type of excruciating pains. But most of them cannot make ends meet. You can see somebody, a woman who gives birth, just less than 3 months, is already on the street carrying a concrete. Even some of them climb into 3-story buildings with a concrete on their head. The economy is not fine. And we don't even have a discipline in the area of our birth giving. Because you can see a child who is 15 is already having a third child. And there is no means of a livelihood. There was one in my area about 4 years ago. The lady died after putting to bed. Immediately she just asked the matron, "Madam, which kind of pikin I born?" And the matron said, "Nah, man." She screamed, "Ah!" The BP rose and they could not control it and she died. Why? She was just getting to 18. No, 17. She was just getting to 17 and that was the third child. The first child they gave birth to, they were using sachet milk to feed the boy. And the sachet milk is not even one for one. Do I use it? 1 meal now? They share it into 3, morning, afternoon, evening, for 1 sachet milk. And this thing continues. At times they will soak gari and feed this child. Now tell me, such persons now has an opportunity for someone to come knocking at his or her door, that please let me take one of your children. The person would not say no. We are not disciplined in so many aspects of this thing. Though it is against the law, but empty stomach is a very bad political advisor. You look for every means to get out of that situation. And that is why this thing is still striving. We give birth to the children we cannot control. We give birth to the children we cannot feed. We give birth to the children that we cannot train. When you are talking of this out of school children, it's a result of most of all these things. There was also a situation, yes, a scenario in my place, very close to my house in Neugeli here, where this lady gave birth to this a baby boy. No father, no mother, nothing. Then the neighbors heard the cry of the child in the night. They came. You have given birth. Say yes. Oh, congrats. They help her in bathing the child, clothed the child. The following day they came again, did the same thing. They thought when they will come. The lady said the father of the boy came in the dead of night and took the child away. How? When? How did the person come into the compound and you never alerted anyone? He said that was what happened. Then one small boy was living with the lady. Then one of the neighbors said, no, something must be wrong. Something is fishy. This story is not clean. They took the boy away that, look, if you don't confess what happened to that little child, we are going to beat you to hell. The little boy said that, I will talk. Auntie boiled water. When the water was boiling, now opened the child's mouth and poured the water into the mouth of the baby. When the baby died, now put the baby in a sack and put it in a dustbin. Then these people, the dirty carriers, came in the morning and they went and poured those things away. Is that what I would say? They just summoned all the people that carry that. They look more or less. They look like mad people. You carry one bag in the morning. Say yes. Where you throw them? They say don't carry and go for a dustbin. They just divided into 3 groups. The women went to the 3 sites. They recovered the bag. The child was gone. The lady was arrested, but what came out of it? Now tell me, in such situations, if the lady had the opportunity of saying, okay, let me even dump this child and run away, or let somebody come and take this child from me, and even anything that they give to them at all, they will take. It is the economy that is pushing people into all these things, and lack of discipline from us. We, the parents, we are so lousy that we don't even want to know what happens to the children when they leave our shores. Even when they are with you.
Yeah, because that should be my next question. Yeah, yes. we know the economy is in bad shape. I might even go worst in the coming years.
It's going worse, not it might.
But is there no way these parents can check who these persons are, their mental state, before even giving their children out to them? Because that's another major question.
No, but look, the mark of the devil is not written on anybody's forehead. Anybody pretends to be a very good person when you are collecting. The face you carry to your creditor in borrowing money is not the same face you wear when you want to pay the money. You see? The problem we actually have in Nigeria is we have imbibed wickedness in us. We look at every other thing around us as inferior apart from the ones we have. Even these things too is not only for the domestic workers. Some people are also very wicked to their own children. I've seen that several cases. But it's worse for domestic workers, especially those ones that cannot fend for themselves. Have you not gone to an eatery where somebody came with 5 children? The 5 children, 4 are his own. 1 is a domestic worker. The other ones are eating well, and the other one is seated at the corner watching. Is that not a sin on its own? If you know you cannot take care of this child, why take the child into custody? I've seen a woman that threw out a child from the car because the child was carrying a baby and the baby fell from him because he was tired. I've also seen a situation whereby a woman was asked the child to be carrying this child, carrying the toddler at about 11, 12 in the night, like pet the baby to sleep. And this girl too is a very small girl. The lady slept off in the process, and the mother of the woman almost killed this girl. There was also this situation whereby I went visiting my cousin. He's late now, actually, but he's so rest in peace. When I got there, I heard the sound of beating in a room. The room was locked up. I was asking my cousin, why are they beating like that? He said, I beg, leave them. That's how they beat the boy. Is it a national anthem? For 1 hour I was there. The beating continues. I said, but I want to go and knock at. They said, no go. If you go knock at trouble. Trouble. So the boy should die.
Neighbor.
Yes. The boy should die. I was there for close to 2.5 hours. It was at the point the boy started crying. Mommy, I'm tired. I cannot cry again. I said, no, this boy is at the verge of death. I went and knocked at the door. The woman said, who are you? I mentioned my name. Say, I not invite you. I said, you invited me by your actions. Open this door. He said she will not open the door. And I went back and I mashed the door with all my energy. He said, hold on. She now opened the door. When she opened the door, the first thing I did was to actually engage her in and to my greatest surprise, Mike, the husband was seated in the room. The husband was seated right there, just like this. On a like the Yoruba will call them. When I finished with the woman, that was the end of that issue. We should also imbibe that spirit of trying to let our neighbors know that what they are doing is wrong. Otherwise, they will continue. You see, if you don't tell a wicked man that you are wicked, he will not know. He may be thinking that is the right thing.
Those are really very disturbing personal tales. And we've seen issues like this, cases like this, and even one that readily comes to minds of many Nigerians was the brutal beating to death of a 12-year-old girl, Joy Adole, who was tortured to death by her employees, Mr. and Mrs. Fortune Stevens, on the 20th day of April 2020 in Bariga area of Lagos, just like you said, for just taking a pack of Indomie noodle.
How much
beats her to death. So my next question is, that's why I asked you initially, the mental state of these people will give them to. But why are some people so wicked and heartless to other people's children?
Some people are born to be heartless, actually. They are born to be heartless. And if you see people that actually do most of these things, well, it is a 50-50 issue, but most of them are people from a very bad background. They don't see anything good in any other person. If you know you cannot take care of this child, why take the person at all? Why not return the child to the parents if the child misbehaves? Or was the life of that child mortgaged to you that you can treat the child anyhow? And again, when you are giving your child, don't give your child to somebody who is so distant from you that you cannot check on the state of the person at any time. We have so many of them, they will tell you the children are in school, and they are not in school. Yeah. They will come they will come home, especially in the interiors. Look, let me take your child, I will train her, let her help me do one or two things, I will do this, and you just forget about the child. And the child has no access of communicating with the parents. You know, it will just look as a slave. Even slaves these days have rights. It was then that slaves don't have rights. Slaves now have rights. But they have subjected these children to that situation that they look at everybody with that eye of wickedness. Have you not seen a situation where even a sister, most especially the wife's sister, living with the sister in the husband's house, and the husband in most cases raised this girl, and the girl reports to the sister will tell the girl, shut up, you want to scatter my marriage. So is that a domestic employee? No. The thing is, it is in the heart of people, and the heart of people differs. I have also seen a situation where you go to a house, you don't even notice that somebody is a domestic worker. They treat all of them equally. Yeah. But some of them, especially this, let me not say it so that they will not say that I am gender biased. Most of these things come from the women. It hardly comes from the men. Because most of them are not in the house. When they come, the women will tell them. But a wise man, when your wife reports only one person to you every day, you should be able to ask a question. Now only this speaking, this house where they sin, the way they commit offense. What happened to other children? I've seen a man ask that question before. That was not a domestic issue. But the children of the other wife that was no longer in the marriage, the husband asked her one day, your own children not in this house. Every day, flog this one, do this, flog this one, do that, and I will be flogging them. Have you reported your children to me any day? That was what stopped that issue. But the mental state of Nigerians is not actually the cause of this thing. I think it's an attack from the spiritual world.
Well, anyway, we'll not go spiritual on it, Comrade Domo, because, anyway, as much as you feel it's spiritual, our laws are physical and they deal with
But the laws are not dealing with these people.
But yeah, that's another thing. We keep to look at the society as the problem. But should apart from the government, should Nigerians, the society, not take a huge chunk of this blame? And the reason I ask is some person will just throw the deaf eye or deaf ear and blind eye to it and will not make issues or take laws into your hands like you did. And so are we not also corporate?
We're also corporate to the situation.
Rather than putting the full blame on all of these people that perpetrate it? Because if persons constantly attack or report or arrest such persons, these parties will never exist.
We have to exercise our human rights. When somebody is in danger, you are, now I would not use the word liable now, you are supposed to bail that person out of that situation. You see where somebody is beating a child, almost killing that child, and you say, not consign me, now in business with that. You are also part of the blame. We are also culprits to the sin. If you are punishing that person for taking that act, you should also punish that person who has that opportunity to save the life of that child, but refused. Turn this blind face. No, look, let me just tell you one simple issue. The Okota area of Lagos. The house help. I don't know what she did. Every night, the woman will gather her children and tell the children to flog this girl one after the other. After flogging the girl, they will bring a lantern, those olden days lantern that has glass. You should know it. It was very common in those states there.
We imported it from Isoko.
No, I don't think so. It was manufactured in Edo.
Okay.
They will place this girl's hand on top of the lamp. They will use stick to press it against the head of the lamp. Then after, no matter the cry of this lady, the woman will never listen. And after that, they will still ask the children to flog this child.
Sad.
A neighbor took it upon herself and went to the police and reported this matter. They came and arrested the woman. That is what we should be doing. Don't close your eyes and say it is not you. It can happen to you tomorrow. It can happen to any of your generation. A crime has no monopoly. Everybody can fall into it. It depends on the state of your mind. So if you have somebody like that in your vicinity that is going through such a situation, there is nothing wrong in you taking that step.
Taking action.
Let the person quarrel with you, but you have satisfied your conscience.
But that will satisfy more of our conscience and talk about it, but we need to go on the break now. And when we come back, we'll continue to talk about abuse and talking about domestic help. Children that are constantly being abused, exploited, and maltreated on account of being house help to many Nigerians. Let's go on the break.